Compliments of the season to all our wonderful viewers out there. This is a time for giving. Loads of flowers, cards and cakes. People begin to get really creative this time of the year, thinking up interesting ideas and concepts. Artists are also not resting on their oars, such as Omoligho Udenta, who uses flowers as a metaphor. Then we look at Professor Omoligho Inka's collection and more on this week's edition of Art House. A warm welcome. I'm Melinda Akinlami.
A story that must be told never forgives silence.
This exhibition is a collection of works which portray Omoligho's interpretations of various aspects of the human race and is comprised of various works of art.
Dust and Petals is a solo exhibition by contemporary artist Omoligho Udenta, who uses flowers as a metaphor to talk about what's happening in her environment. Using paper as her main material, she combines forms and arrangements and draws the viewer silently into her world, a world where some human conditions are overlooked. This artist intends to make the audience pause and take notice. This exhibition is in continuation of an installation she created in the Femme Fatale themed series titled Eve Metamorphosized 2.
In 2014, I had the first of, in this series, that was Eve. The title is Eve Metamorphosed. And then we had this exhibition organized by an arts organization where we were asked to create works inspired by the theme Femme Fatale. And for that, I came up with the concept that us females, are all evolved from Eve, the first female. And to a certain extent, we take different paths. The femme fatale could be said to be the woman who seduces, who tempts men into their downfall. And so I tried to illustrate that in that first exhibition by creating a Garden of Eden and then an Eve in a red dress.
But that red dress has given way to a white one, and the figure once considered a temptress has now decided to turn a new leaf in this latest exhibition.
This Eve is what could be perceived to be the good Eve. That is the Eve who decides to get married, who decides to do what is right in the eyes of the world. But of course, I realized that there are so many other Eves that exist, as in there should be the career Eve, the one who is able to function in the business environment effectively. So that is basically what this work is about. Eve, who has decided to get married on her wedding day, coming out of the Garden of Eden to do that.
There are other works of art, such as Emotions, the dark emotions.
For this range of works in this space, I was trying to, like when you have flowers, usually we humans have attributed meanings to them. As in, you say a girl is as gentle as a rose or as sweet as a rose. And so I wanted to try and create flowers that had characteristics that I could put into them. And so for this range, I was trying to show emotions, what would be referred to as all the different kinds of emotions. Well, not so many different kinds, but the ones that I wanted to portray anyway. These are referred to as the dark emotions, that is anger and envy and those kind of things. And when I was creating this particular work, I happened to be very angry that day, and I realized that anger isn't just pure black, which is what I initially thought it was. There's a battle inside to express your anger, to act on your anger, to cover up your anger, you know, and that is why this work has so many different colors, different kinds of textures, why these lines are going in so many different directions, because you feel yourself pulled, or at least I felt myself being pulled to be good, to be bad, to retaliate, to hold back, to do what was right in the sight of man or God. And it was a battle, you know, and that is what I try to symbolize here, that this is just a raging battle from layer to layer, from thought to thought.
A 36-inch by 36-inch piece done on paper, acrylic, adhesive to this one called Iforma, done with paper, cotton, acrylic and adhesive. It focuses on humanity and the characteristics that we show and what we can become if we learn to treat each other better. We will probably blossom like the flower and the world will become a better place.
I'd like to explore this flower theme one more time, but more importantly, I'd like to also explore the possibility of creating paper objects that can be used as not just ornaments, but functional objects in homes. So things like lamps, lampshades, things like that can be used in homes.
So everything used to create these works emphasizes the beauty of creation, and for years she has gotten a kick out of parallels and interrelationships between everything that has to do with nature.
This work is titled Ode to Industrialized Man. Now, one of the first major steps towards during the period of industrialization was education. And education started because people could now have access to books because printing was developed. And so for this work, I used printing plates, discarded printing plates, you know, and I used that to create this beautiful flower, which for me symbolizes industrialized man, because it is at this point that things changed, that brought us to where we are now, where machines were now created. And that's why in the central part I have keys. This period unlocked so much for mankind as a whole. This is one work that I found very interesting, because it was both research and art at the same time for me. I was trying to just symbolize all the parts of Nigeria in our fabric. Now, the irony here is that even though we have fabrics which we call our traditional fabrics or Nigerian fabrics, but very few of them are actually made by us. For instance, this whole range here, our Ankara materials are imported. They're all imported. If you talk about damask, which you consider to be it's imported. If you talk about this velvet material, it's imported. The only few that are actually made here are things like ashoke, this Steve fabric, and then akwete. Almost every other one is imported, but in spite of that, you can still identify the different tribes or cultures from the fabrics that you see here. It just goes to show that no matter where we are from, no matter where we are, we all require the same things. We all desire the same things. That is how I saw this at the end of the day. We all desire the same things: to be clothed, to be comfortable, to be ourselves, you know, and to put on something that will represent our culture, our background.
This graphic artist has a Bachelor of Arts degree in Industrial Design from Ahmadu Bello University Zaria and a Master's degree in Art History from the University of Lagos. She has participated in various workshops and exhibitions, including the 5th National Arts Competition in 2012, organized by the African Artists Foundation, in which she clinched the 3rd prize during the project.